Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out every single Warhammer Space Marines Legion in a nutshell by Bricky. This was again another big recommendation to me by you guys. A lot of you guys are telling me to go check out the Space Marines, and I figure this would be a good sort of intermediate video in between Hell's Reach. Basically just to get a little bit more knowledge on the Space Marine factions themselves, learn a little bit more about each one of their chapters, and basically just like, just have an extra little in-between day I can weasel you guys out for, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding, but no, I really love the discussion I see on that Hell's Reach video. That was great to see, and again, I'm sorry if I haven't been responding to the comments as often, boys. It's well, boys and girls, I should say. It's there's so many to get to, and in between trying to make more content and trying to do other stuff in life, it's a lot to respond to. But don't think I'm not reading them. I'm absolutely reading every single comment. I just don't have the time to respond to every single one, unfortunately, and that's I feel bad about it, but it is what it is, so I try to get to what I can, and I'm not trying to just like leave like a like on the comment if I can't like get to an in-depth response on it, you know what I'm saying? Because that just feels disingenuous in a way. So I'm really trying to give you guys each the attention you deserve. It's just there's so many of you now, it's getting a little hard, that's all. But yeah, without any further delay, boys, we're gonna get right into this video. This is a 42-minute long video, and it looks like he's got yeah, like all the legions displayed there. So I'm excited to get right into this, guys. So leave a like, go subscribe for more content from me, and yeah, let me know what you have to say. If you guys want me to react to something next, let me know in the comments below, okay? But without any further ado, let's get right into it.
To the people on the internet, the time has come.
As always, pen and paper.
Begins.
Gonna be taking notes.
Got himself a shaker cup.
Oh, nice. Got another Bricky ad right off the bat here. This is cool.
After many months of shilling gamer subs like my favorite thing to do, we have ourselves a goddamn shaker cup. It's here, the official Bricky waifu shaker cup. Do you see the gal on here?
Oh, wow.
It's not great at focusing. I'm sure there'll be a thing in the background. Skater, put a thing in the background.
Nice.
Blonde white hair, absolutely. A bit more toned, abs, obviously. Bikini, hit it. Legally distinct mark on the face. Of course, she wants you to do the diddle thing, maybe, but most likely to serve in a glorious
Legally
army.
distinct mark on the face.
I think so.
Oh my god.
Shaker Cup is available now, and you should get it while it is hot. But if you're thinking, Bricky, what should I put in this? Well, how about my top 10 favorite gamer subs?
Oh wow, look at that,
number
boys.
1 to number 10, all of them incredible, but listed regardless, and an addendum for
got a lot of flavors
caffeine-free.
there, large
This
variety.
shaker cup is available now in the description of this video. You may use code Bricky as well at checkout to get a discount on your order. A massive amount of profits. Get a
Real quick, if you plan on buying anything from Gamer Subs, go use code Bricky to get that 10% off. I'm sure it'd really support him, and he makes great content, so he deserves it. Okay, guys? Go use code Bricky if you plan on buying anything from there.
discount on your order. A massive amount of profits goes to yours truly, and a huge thank you to Gamer Subs for sponsoring and for getting me this beautiful cup. Go out there and get it. I'm gonna take
That looks
one more
good.
sip
Looks
for
like
the
a good
camera,
product.
slow it down, throw some sexy music in there.
Oh boy, here we
and I'll
go.
see you guys soon.
Oh.
Hello everybody, my name is
Nice.
Bricky, currently stuck in the walls of the most prodigious school in the Imperium by punishment for falling asleep during class. God bless the Skull of Progenium. Many of you have come across my Every Faction Explained video. Firstly, thank you. Secondly, we are here to dig a little deeper. Space Marines are the quintessential poster boys of Warhammer 40,000. When people think
Obviously,
40K,
yeah.
they think Space Marines. But
I mean, they're on the
there are many
front
types
cover
of
of like everything, right? You know?
formed from 20 separate legions. We are going to rattle them off in
Right.
order and give you a quick
20 separate legions. You guys, one of you guys mentioned that it was there was 20, but then obviously the Horus heresy happened. I think one was forgotten or something. So basically there was like 20 or 21. And then at the end there was only 18, and then yeah, I'm pretty sure. That could be incorrect, and I could be misunderstanding. I'm sure he's going to explain it though, so
separate legions.
Just what I remember.
Going to rattle them off in order and give you a quick rundown of each one. A disclaimer, like in my Every Faction Explained video, this is a
which we saw. Go check that out.
And memes. If I say the Salamander's Legion specializes in hugging children and petting puppies, they aren't exactly doing that, mostly. I would like to pet this creature. But you can infer that they care about civilians and are a bit kinder than the average Space Marine. A Space Marine being a genetically modified super soldier that's had 1,000,000 new and terrifying organs shoved into them, refrigerators strapped to their bodies, and so far above the average human that they are referred to as demigods instead. Each Space Marine has a father, unlike you, a Primarch, which is basically an even bigger Space Marine that was forged in a lab by the God Emperor of mankind, that gigantic golden dude you see everywhere, who is both the leader and now the martyr of humanity. The Primarchs are his 20 sons, built in a lab, who lead 20 legions of Space Marines, who are their sons, not from a lab, but rather a dissection table, giving them the powers and skills of their associated Primarch via a gene seed, a special organ carrying the genetic makeup of their Primarch and, you know, their seed. So Khan of the White Scars has the genetic makeup that wants him to go really, really fast.
Oh yeah.
His sons, the Space Marines, also want to go
really, really fast. Yeah, okay.
I'm only referring to the legions this time around.
So it basically is the case of like they're inheriting traits from their Primarch father in a sense, right? So is each Primarch kind of like a representation of the trait of like the Emperor in a way, or of a trait of the Emperor in a way, or are they kind of just like, you know, the product of like genetic mutation, and this is just kind of like the way they are, and then the Space Marines, you know, by definition of that, it's accentuated, you know, in a sense. I don't know if that's correct. I'm sure he's gonna probably explain it a little bit more, but that's just kind of like what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds a lot like what's messed up or good about them in a way. It's accentuated, you know, with their sons or, you know, other Space Marines, you know, I guess in general.
Go really, really fast. I should note that I am only referring to the legions this time around. If you're interested in sub-factions like, let's say, the Black Templars, then it's not going to be here. However, I do have a excellent Black Templar video. I'd argue it's probably the most accurate one I can think of. It goes through the whole lore, everything.
We're going to be checking that out at some point.
Video, and I'll put it in the description. Just look up Black Templar video in the description. You'll get what you need.
Putting that at the corner of this page.
Easy explanation out of the way. Let us begin with our first legion. Dark Angels. Allegiance, loyal.
No.
Primarch Lionel Johnson, a duelist, a knight, a real asshole, I'm not gonna lie. The single word descriptor: paranoid. The Dark Angels are our first legion, hailing from the death world known as Caliban. Their Primarch, Lionel Johnson, is what happens when you try to make the side profile Chad meme into a genuine character. He is a master tier duelist, a brilliant strategist, and an overall dick. There are few situations he isn't prepared for.
His armor looks fucking sweet, though.
He isn't ready to lead head on. This makes the Dark Angels have a very Knights of the Round Table vibe.
Okay.
Like the Knights of old with these large suits of power armor, often donning robes and hoods. Their names also follow this. They have like Ezekiel.
I gotta say, I really liked like the winged headdresses they got going and shit like that. It kind of reminds me of like the winged hussars and shit throughout history, you know. Except obviously that was like on like a chest piece of armor behind them, but like, no, it definitely does give them that like angelic sort of look and feel about them. But it's also just like, you know, anything that adds to your physical size is just also intimidation in a sense, and in this case it works really, really well for them.
Our armor often donning robes and hoods. Their names also follow this. They have like Ezekiel, Azrael, Belial, Samuel, like
biblical
and so
names.
On. However, the common thing associated with Dark Angels are the Fallen, a part of their faction that turned traitor against the Imperium, and they are very heavily trying to expunge all knowledge of them
Holy shit.
from existence. Fallen? What Fallen? Never heard of any Fallen. Do you know what the Fallen? We're gonna take you away and mind probe you to make sure you have never heard of the Fallen. They definitely don't exist, and if they do exist, which they don't, we will find them even though they don't exist. They love their interrogation.
Holy shit.
They thrive in it.
Oh,
Lionel Johnson is a scorched earth policy sometimes, and it's given to his sons in force, which makes
Wow.
sense considering that when the Lion heard of a Chaos Primarch on the homeworld different Primarch, whose mom was there, he was like, let's nuke it. The Dark Angels are a special group where they formulate themselves into 3 different factions. The Deathwing Terminators, slow-moving, tough
That looks
phalanx.
fucking
the
sweet.
Raven Wing, fast jet bikes and flyers. And the Green Wing, which is your standard Marines. They are a
Okay.
jack of all trades, but not in the sense where they're good at everything, but rather they have a lot of things that are good at specific things. Like instead of 20 people that have a multi-tool, they instead have 20 people with gigantic power tools for every job imaginable.
Okay.
You like being suspicious about everyone and everything in your surroundings, but you also like to have a whole lot of deep night type lore. Run the Dark Angels.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Second Legion.
Our second Legion is a special one.
If you can see,
Holy shit.
the numbers all go
Emperor's Children.
to 11.
Okay.
The Emperor's Children. Allegiance, traitor. Primal,
Oh.
Fulgrim, a perfectionist, an artist, a sneaky snaky snake. And a
Raiders.
single word descriptor, perfection. The Emperor's
Oh, wow.
Children are all about the pursuit of perfection.
Their armor looks sweet. I like
Perfection
the
in
purple,
all
to
they
be
do.
honest.
Perfection in war, in artistry, and perfection in every other aspect of life. Their armor is a gleaming pink, purple, and gold. Their ships have spires of gorgeous marble
Wow.
and gold statues in their honor. Fulgrim is a man who believes
Looks very
the pursuit of
royal, you
perfection
know what
is
I'm
the goal
saying?
of all things, and I mean,
Yeah.
look at him. Can you truly tell me that he is not perfect?
Bro looks like a fucking, like, Targaryen from Game of Thrones, like, straight up. And he's even got, like, the fucking, like, birds and shit coming to him, the dragons, you know? That's fucking, you know? He looks like quite the character there. I'm sure, I don't know if he'll get into it in this video, but I'm interested to learn why they went traitor. Like, did they just simply join Horus and, you know, decide that the Emperor wasn't the shit anymore? Or, like, you know, was there more to it than that?
Is the goal of all things, and I mean, look at him. Can you truly tell me that he is not perfect? The hair, the features. As Primarchs go, he is the one you look at, and if 40K had a guy that would give you the best sex you've ever had,
Oh my God.
and never call you back, this is the fucking guy. Which is why this pursuit of decadence led them to the evils of chaos.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Emperor's Children are our first Chaos Legion, and not just a normal one. One devoted to, you guessed it, Slaanesh, the Prince of
Right.
Pleasure, god of unspeakable excess. The
They were
Emperor's
corrupted.
Children in their pursuit are now horrifyingly mutated beings through Slaanesh's great will. They torture and maim to feel perfection through pain. They screech and attack with sonic weaponry for perfection through sound. And they
Oh.
slaughter, aiming for perfection in war. Fulgrim himself lost the battle against Slaanesh as a demon sword corrupted his mind and transformed him into the sexy man he was, into the sexy snake he is now. A
Oh.
demon Primarch, corrupted and bringing his legion's will by himself. As far as Emperor's Children go, they are some bad people. They do horrible, horrible things to anyone and everything. In
Holy
fact,
shit.
they're such trolls that their battle cry is for the Emperor, despite being horribly mutated and corrupted. If you've ever taken a
That's
little
such a
too
piss to
much
take.
of a drug, or maybe the music at the concert was too loud and you didn't bring any earplugs, or whatever the reason, you just take all those things and you dial it and you dial it and you twist it and the knob breaks. And that is the Emperor's Children.
Wow.
Is dead.
Iron Warriors.
God remains dead, and we have killed him.
The Iron Warriors. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch,
They look like
Percherano,
traitors, I was gonna say.
A warlord, a siege smith, an incel. Single word descriptor,
Incel. I'm writing that down.
End of our Chaos Legions, we have the Iron Warriors led by
Siege
Primarch
Masters.
Perturabo of Olympia. To understand
wow.
the Iron Warriors, though, one must first understand Perturabo. A man so bitter, coffee beans run for light. A man who hates the world and everyone in it, who never got recognition for his deeds, who hates his brothers and hates their accomplishments even more. Someone so laughably petty, so incredibly bitter that he goes full circle to becoming likable. Why? Because he's competent. The Horus Heresy.
What?
We didn't talk about the Horus Heresy. Intermission.
Okay.
So Horus was the Emperor's favorite son, right? You know, so
Right.
the Emperor walked into his room. Horus said, Dad, I just gifted 150 subs to Amaranth, and she said my name a ton, and she loved me for it. I really think that I might get to meet her one day. And it kind of played out something like this.
Your feelings for her are not real. They are real to me.
And then it started playing out a little
It's
bit
a sick
more
reference.
like this.
Let the seas boil.
Okay.
Stars fall.
That looks fucking sweet.
So it takes the last drop.
What's that from? Somebody tell me what like this whole scene here is from, because this looks fucking cool.
So it takes the last drop of my blood.
Yeah. So Iron Warriors, the
Wow,
Horus
okay.
Heresy wouldn't have gotten shit done without Peter Turbo. Imagine an
That's his name?
entire
That's a
faction
fucking
that is
sweet
the
name, Peter
personification
Turbo.
Of brutal industrialism, where you serve the Legion until your dying breath. You build and you kill and you siege and you kill and you literally summon demons just to take them and trap them in machines and use them as cannon fodder. This is a thing they do. They summon demons to trap and use as shock troops. The Iron Warriors
That's a pretty
are
sweet
siege
idea, though.
warfare incarnate. They are heavy weapons. They are tanks. They are turrets, and they don't.
Oh, they have tanks and
die.
shit too.
They hate
That's a good question. So I guess the Space Marines, they do have like support elements alongside them. So like I know obviously in Hell's Reach they had like a naval or like a space asset, I guess in a sense. But in like ground warfare or planet warfare, I guess they do have like tanks usually as well. Because, like, to my understanding, it was like the Imperial Guard that would like supply like the tanks if they were going to be there, and the Space Marines just kind of like operated independently because they basically are tanks. But I guess it would make sense if they also had like support elements like that alongside. You know what I'm saying? How would those tanks differ? Because like if the Imperial Guard also have tanks, how would they be different from like Space Marine tanks and whatnot, self-propelled guns? And also, how would their navy differ as well? That's a good question. How do their ships differ? If somebody can explain that.
They are heavy weapons. They are tanks. They are turrets, and they don't die. They hate Imperial.
Okay.
They hate Imperial fists.
Do you need a pacifier, Iron Baby? No, I don't.
They are bitter incarnate. Perturabo and the Iron Warriors don't serve the
They look
Chaos
cool
Gods
as fuck.
because they like them. They serve them because fuck you.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Not another speeding ticket. I'll fight it in court, but
White
I don't think they're
scars.
gonna accept gotta go fast as a medical condition.
The White Scars. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch,
So you guys told me about the White Scars a little bit. A few of you guys commented. The White Scars are essentially just all about speed, all about mobility. They go in on bikes. You know, they're basically like first in, first out kind of thing. Like they're getting in as quick as they can. They're doing the most damage, and they're, you know, from what I understand, not sticking around. I mean, I'm sure there's instances where they just keep going, but you know, well, actually, I'm sure they actually just don't stop, right? They just keep cleaving until they get to their objective, right? And then they maybe turn around and go back. You know, guess we'll see.
Go fast as a medical condition.
the White Scars. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Jagatai Khan. A speed
Jagatai
demon,
Khan.
a plain strider, a roast god. Single word descriptor, speed. Hailing from Chagoris. The White Scars are all about speed. They love melee,
Yeah.
but they love it even more when they are doing it from a motorcycle or land speeder. Or
Okay.
honestly, just running really damn fast. The White Scars are honestly forgotten about a lot, and that's lore accurate. They are a legion that doesn't seek the recognition or glory from the combat they engage in. They engage in it because it is their duty and because they love it. Not in the insane slaughter enjoyment of loving it, but in the thrill of the fight. They are known as the Laughing Killers because they ride into battle with a smile on their face and a chuckle in their throat. And as you can tell by their Primarch's name, they are Mongolian based. Remove horses and replace them with motorcycles and land spears, and that's your style. They are heavily based on the old times of Genghis Khan, and you consider this is 40k and everybody's evil. You know, that fits. The White Scars are actually physical scars on their body, going back to their heritage on Horse. The Khan himself is kind of a dickhead, but a reasonable one. He thinks ahead, he's intelligent, he's patient. He is often underestimated because he doesn't scream his accomplishments from the rooftops, which is what makes him and the White Scars dangerous. His skills are kept at bay, only to be truly shown when the time is needed. The White Scars are a forgotten legion often, but that doesn't diminish their accomplishments. All it does is surprise those who underestimate them. Speed, awesome Mongolian vibe they got going on. And if you really like to stab people, that's the White Scars for you. Shameless thirst break.
Fair enough. Gotta take one.
Woof, 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 woof.
Space Wolves.
Woof, bitch.
The Space Wolves. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Leman Russ. A Viking,
Leman
Savage,
Russ.
The Undertaker. Single word descriptor, wolf, 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 wolf. There's so many goddamn wolf units. Skater.
And some of you guys did explain the Space Wolves to me a little bit there too. Apparently they have like a genetic defect, which basically like literally turns them into werewolves in a sense. You know, and they got that whole like Viking-esque aesthetic about them, I guess, you know. I think they look pretty fucking sweet. You know, if you're into the whole Viking LARP. I like how they like each kind of like resemble something, you know what I mean? It's kind of neat to see. Like they each kind of resemble like a different culture in a way, you know? It's interesting.
Wolf, 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 wolf. There's so many goddamn wolves.
So many wolves.
Skater, how many units in the Space Wolves Codex have the word wolf in their name? The Space Wolves are the 6th Legion and hail from Fenris, a frozen wasteland of a world with their
like even the
Primarch,
name Fenris.
Leman Russ. I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time talking about the Space
It's a cool
Wolves
concept.
because it's very obvious who they are. They are the second most like obvious,
And they ride
like, their
wolves?
shtick
What the
is
fuck?
Legion in the
Holy
20
shit.
legions besides the World Eaters. When you look at the Space Wolves behind, what do you see? Do you see Vikings in space?
Yeah.
You've done it.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations. You have found Vikings. in
Great.
space. But they have as much in common with a regular Marine as an old day Viking with like a Roman soldier. You see, as a Space Marine, your body is so enhanced that you filter out poison, and so you can't get drunk. The Space Wolves distill a special mead out of a horrible poisonous plant that would kill a normal human so they could get drunk. They have fangs in their mouths. They sometimes cannibalize their enemies. Yeah,
okay.
They eat people because
What the
they
fuck?
gain knowledge about them from there and about battle plans. The
That's
Space
a
Wolves
fucking
are
extremely
savages.
useful
They're
skill.
raiders. They're Vikings. But despite all of this,
Not
they
even
are
skill, just
loyal
fucking
to
ability, I
their
guess.
core. Leman Russ is an egotistical guy who just shouts stories and tales of his accomplishments everywhere they can. But at the same time, he was so damn loyal that instead of gunning down his foes, he hit him with a fucking backbreaker to show
What?
his devotion to wrestling. If you want Vikings in space, you found it. Play the Vikings in space.
We're gonna build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that
Imperial
wall.
fists.
Build
Okay.
that wall. Build that wall.
The Imperial Fists. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rogel Dorn. A builder, a phalanx.
I've heard that
and
name
needs
before.
a hand. Single word descriptor, fortify. The Imperial Fists are led by Primarch Rogel Dorn. Their home
Wait a second. Wasn't Rogel Rogel Dorn. He was I heard his name in Hell's Reach a few times, right? Isn't he? I guess he's not like. Are the Black Templars like kind of like a derivative of the Imperial Fists? Because they were saying his name. I'm not crazy, right? Like I've heard that before, right? Unless it just like sounds the same. Maybe it's not the same, but I don't know. Somebody correct me on that. I'm a little curious because he did say he made like his own separate video about just like the Black Templars. So I'm gonna have to go check that out at some point.
descriptor, fortify. The Imperial Fists are led by Primarch Rogal Dorn on their homeworld of Inuit. However, they themselves are actually a fleet-based chapter, with their main source of recruitment coming from an enormous moon-sized ship called the Phalanx. The Fists are a chapter you think of when you think of duty. They love to serve. The love to serve and the inability to be moved. Rogal Dorn is an architect, a master builder, and basically a rock in brain and body. A lack of humor or ability to lie shows that he is as blunt as the weapons of war he creates. Not the swords he makes, but like
it sounded like a lot more honorable, I guess.
Are the same.
Not like less honorable.
Typical American Marine style look, a buzz cut, a hard sense of duty, and then throw in some power armor and a love for building defenses, and you have the Imperial Fists. They are immovable. When you find a spot, they're ready to defend. You can't.
So they're a lot more like the defensive faction. Like if you want to play a Space Marine faction that has like you know, like I guess a strong like health, a strong defense, you know, a strong wall, in a sense, you'd play these guys.
Fists. They are immovable. When you find a spot, they're ready to defend. You can't breach them. Their knowledge of defensive warfare is paramount. Without them, the Horus Heresy would have been so much more effective, but thanks to their insane and immovable tenacity,
I like their armor
the
too.
Imperium lives today. And let's not forget that Iron Warrior and Imperial Fist rivalry. Want to know why the Iron Warriors are so bitter? These guys are the reason why.
Oh, really?
Bring the thing! Where is he going? Hey, that could have killed me. Hey guys, we missed. Get another.
Dorn and Perturado are basically two sides of the same coin. One is just a bit more level-headed and got better jobs. If you want to be defensive, to be good at everything Space Marines are good at, bolters, heavy weapons, vehicles.
Oh wow!
You want a classic military.
Like their tanks and shit look sweet.
Start fisting.
They look like World War I tanks, kinda.
Today
Night Lords.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. The Night Lords. Allegiance.
Oh, that looks fucking cool.
Primarch,
yeah,
Conrad
clearly.
Kurz, a sadist, a vigilante, the presso espresso. Single word, fear. The Night Lords are my favorite legion, hailing from Nostromo and their Primarch, Conrad Kurz. They are a traitor legion from a planet known as the Sunless World, or the World of Endless Night. Nostromo is a horrible hive city that is known for being host to some of the worst gang violence, murder, and working conditions around. The only thing keeping the population in check is the suicide rate. The Night Lords followed in the footsteps of their Primarch, a man who believed in a twisted sense of justice and that the only way to make humans compliant is through fear. The Legion's lesson has been lost on them, as their ranks were repopulated by gang members, murderers, arsonists, torturers, and other words I can't say on YouTube, as young as 12 years old. Murderers before they were even teenagers, raised to become demigods. Now, fear is what they sow, and flesh is what they reap. The Night Lords are scum. They are the exact opposite of all other legions. They torture and they maim and they flay because they think it's fun. They run away often so they can come back and kill you with more numbers. They prey on the innocent and the weak. They kill normal civilians because it's easy, and flee any battle where they don't possess overwhelming odds. They are the antithesis of normal Space Marines.
Yeah, so they're like the exact opposite. These are like the worst of the worst, like Space Marines. If you want to play like the baddest of the bad guys in power armor, you play these guys, it sounds like. Honestly, and one of you guys explained it to me, like, if you're gonna play, or if you're gonna get into Warhammer, you know, everyone's bad, you know? You might as well go full out with it, right? Like, in a sense, if you're gonna be the baddest, right? You know? But these guys sound fucking, like awful. Not in the sense of, like, they're bad, just in, like, the sense of, like, holy shit, they're fucking...
Possess
they're fucking evil as shit.
They're the antithesis of normal Space Marines. They are... scum. One time, a world did not comply to their demands, so they raided one of their ships and brought it into atmosphere. The crowds cheered and clapped as it appears that they had won the battle. and the airlocks opened, and the skinned and flayed bodies of the crew were thrown down
my
the
God.
populace. In other words, a legion of gangers and criminals. Add together a heavy Slavic influence to them, and you've got my favorite faction.
You have not done the
Wow.
dishes for 5
I can understand
years.
that.
So embarrassed when
Blood
people
Angels.
come over
What
here.
does it matter? You bring them over, you kill them. Vampires don't do dishes.
The Blood Angels. A legion?
You guys explained this one to me a little bit as well. Not fully, but they're essentially like they also suffer from a genetic deficiency, I guess. In the sense that they're kind of like vampiric in a way. They have to like literally drink blood. I think that's for sustainment. I could be wrong. I think these guys also, one of you guys explained to me, they also have like, what is it? Like a rage, genetic, I guess, you know what I'm saying? So like to the point where if they get so enraged, there's a chance that it's not fixable in a sense. And then they literally just make like suicide battalions out of them in a sense, you know? So that was very cool. Thank you for whoever explained that to me. I appreciate that a lot. That was a very cool piece of information, but let's see what he's got to
Bring them
say.
over, you kill them. Vampires don't do dishes.
The Blood Angels. Allegiance? Loyal. Primarch? Sanguinius. An angel, a vampire, a dead-ass motherfucker.
Okay.
Single word descriptor? Blood. The Blood Angels are 9th Legion, hailing from the homeworld of Baal, with their Primarch, Sanguinius. The Blood Angels are a tragic tale with one of the best Primarchs, one beloved by almost everybody, a genuine angelic figure who led his people to glory, killed by the hands of the traitor Horus before the Emperor's eyes. The
Wow.
death of their Primarch led the entire
Oh,
legion
he was
to
the one that got
madness as
killed.
their
Okay.
gene seed malfunctioned and created something known as the Black Rage. The Blood
Okay,
Angels
yeah.
degrade over time, experiences something called the Red Thirst, which gives them a genuine vampiric thirst for blood. As their minds degrade and break down, they get angrier and angrier, becoming berserk killing machines with no other goal than to tear everything in sight apart. But they don't see it as that. They see themselves there, at their Primarch's demise.
Oh my God.
Horus in sight. And to them, it's time for vengeance. That Space Marine over there, that Chaos Space Marine, that's Horus. Kill him. That Orc War Boss over there, Horus. Kill him. That Tyranid Swarm, 1,000 Horuses. Horai. Kill him all. Did your toast come out a little bit burnt? Horus sabotaged your toaster. Destroy the toaster. Destroy it. Do it. Do it. Kill your toaster. Do it. This slow, debilitating disease takes over the Blood Angels, and it gives them this angelic, vampire, and Catholic-inspired imagery. They have chalices of blood. They rest in coffins and can even use psychic powers to sprout angel wings from their bodies. They are
Really?
a
What the
tragedy
fuck?
through and through, and the only thing that will look more tragic are the
I
mangled
love their color
bodies of
scheme.
those they come in contact with.
I got a diesel engine.
Iron
and
Hands.
forgot to mention, we're gonna take your job away.
The Iron Hands. Allegiance? Loyalist.
Loyalists.
Primarch? Ferrus Manus, a machinist, an inventor, and not a great head on his shoulders. Single word? Bionics.
Bionics.
The Iron Hands are from the home planet of Medusa and their Primarch, Ferrus Manus. Does Ferrus Manus have an iron hand? You fucking know he's got an iron hand. The Iron Hands
Right.
believe that the flesh is weakness. But despite all of their enhancements, despite all the things that made them demigods, replacing some of the flesh with bionics will allow them to serve the Emperor more. They go hard into vehicles and dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts
Okay.
being giant walking sarcophagi that have wounded space marines piloting them from the inside. Vehicles, metal upgrades. These are the things that make up this legion. Their tech marines have servo arms sticking out from all directions. They have a wide array of mechanics and extremely often replace limbs with metal ones, serving all kinds of different functions to deal with their enemies.
Oh,
the
shit.
Iron Hands are also not particularly nice. They're kind of assholes. I mean, the marines are already normally pretty big assholes, but they're a little bit up there because of their
Right.
Flesh, civilians made of flesh, Because
Ew.
you see, the flesh is weak. Flesh is corruptible. Bionics, the strength of the machine is pure and cannot so easily be.
So I assume like the Adeptus Mechanicus probably have like a fucking, you know, absolute fucking love relationship with these guys. Like they must have like very, very similar ideals in mind. From what I understand.
The strength of the machine is pure and cannot so easily be corrupted. So if you want people who have this little techno fetishistic vibe to them, that love their vehicles and their walking coffins, hit up the Iron Hands.
Understand,
Okay.
Commander, I was never here.
Legion 11. Why, hello there. I have returned from touching grass. I'm pretty cool with the grass touching. And now let's continue our Warhammer lecture.
This ruffles my jammies.
Okay, so we're just gonna skip over that. Okay.
The World Eaters. Allegiance, heretic.
Somebody wants to explain that in the comments, please do so. That's I would like to know. Legion
The
12.
World Eaters. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch, Angron, a butcher, a slaughterer.
Like extremely, earth-shatteringly, unreasonably fuck-ass mad.
Single word descriptor, anger. Hey you. Yeah, you. Are you mad? Do you just fucking hate everyone?
Oh.
Do you want murder
AVGN is great.
and get rewarded for doing so? Then you should join the World Eaters. Home planet of Nuceria and Primarch Angron, who, if the name didn't suggest, is real fucking angry. Angron was raised a slave, forced to fight in gladiator pits. When he refused, they shoved old world tech into his brain so that if he ever felt any emotion other than anger, it caused him extreme pain. All his sons, wanting to be like their dad, also put a version of these nails in their brain. So now you have an entire legion who literally feel unimaginable pain if they are feeling any emotion other than anger. Slap them with a freight train of armor, 2 goddamn chainsaw axes, and you can see what's gonna happen. It's no wonder they're corrupted by corn. They're honestly a surprisingly sad legion that I actually screwed up in assuming that they were all just angry murderers. I mean, they are. But they didn't start out that way. Their corn corruption degraded their intelligence, their free will, and made powerful warriors into arguably even more powerful warriors, but blunt, like frothing at the mouth.
It seems like these guys, like, if the Emperor rose them up, like, and the Emperor knew corn existed. He didn't really make it public, but if he knew they existed, it seems like these guys would be one of the easiest corrupted by that sort of things. Or by that sort of thing, you know what I mean? I just feel like he really fucked up there. It was a real big lapse of judgment.
Into arguably even more powerful warriors, but blunt, like frothing at the mouth psycho warriors. The World Eaters, like I mentioned in the Space Wolves, they wear their concept on their sleeve. They are angry, they want to kill things, they want to kill you and maybe some of their friends, and that's the faction. They're red, they're mad, they're gonna run at you and cause death. If you like that, you play the World Eaters. Or you like it because they were, you know, at one point a lot better than that. Most of Warhammer was a lot better than that. I was once a lot better than that. That was when I was in college. I didn't finish college, and neither did Angron.
The Ultramarines. Ultramarines, you guys have been telling me, it's basically like the pretty boys that are fucking good at everything, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like the poster boys of Warhammer. Like whenever you see a Space Marine, it's not always an Ultramarine, but it's usually an Ultramarine kind of thing. Is how I understand it.
Hail Caesar. If it's not done by sunrise, I'll cut your balls off.
The Ultramarines. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rabute Gilliman. That's how it's said. An Analyst, a Diplomat, a Blueberry Boy Scout. Single word descriptor, duty. When you see Space Marines on a box or just Space Marines in promotional material, notice how they are always colored blue. These are the blue Space Marines.
Right.
These ones here, the Ultramarines, who hail from the world of Macrogg with their
Macrogg.
Rabute Gorilla Man. Ultramarines are the white bread of Space Marines, the grilled chicken with salt and pepper. This is by no means an insult. They are plain Jane, but that's also because they are so goddamn good at their job. Their skill for warfare is paramount, but so is their ability for leadership.
That's a crazy
for a
picture.
While was a damn boring Primarch for all the reasons he was great, because no matter how hard you try, you don't don't win a war without logistics, without supply lines, without
Right.
trade routes, without infrastructure and economy. You don't win anything without all that stuff, and Gilliman knows it, which is why he has one of the largest standing empires in the Imperium, named Ultramar, which is why his sons are the most recognizable of all the Space Marines, which is why the only thing that rivals the
So these guys have like kind of like their own like united subsystems under them in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like they own like a lot of territory personally. Is that kind of what I'm understanding here?
why his sons are the most recognizable of all the Space Marines. Which
Right.
is why the only thing that rivals the weight of their victories is the weight of their egos. They are
Right.
good at everything and bad at nothing. They are great at everything. Other legions can do other things better than them, but they are good at everything.
Good
The
at
most interesting
everything.
thing about the Ultramarines is their characters. As
Like
they
they're the
all
best
have inflicted
all-rounders.
Various amounts of ultra depression for many reasons. Gilliman is, at the time of recording, the only playable Primarch currently on the tabletop, and the only one that
Really?
has returned to the 41st millennium for the Loyalist side. He
Let me know if that's changed. Some of you guys have been telling me some things about the tabletop. Is there any more Primarchs that are playable now? I know this video was made a couple years ago, so I'm just wondering if they ended up actually releasing any more new
on
ones.
the tabletop, and the only one that has returned to the 41st millennium for the Loyalist side. He took one look at what his empire has become and immediately wanted to fucking die. Being forced to leave everything he once
That's fair.
hated, an Imperium rotten to its core with his sole responsibility to save it, is kind of what makes him interesting. They are a perfectly standard legion with perfectly standard ideals, and great if you want a simple, clean slate.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Death Guard.
Funny poop. Poop funny.
Okay.
Woo.
The Death Guard. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Mortarion. A Reaper, a Poison, an ungodly stench. Single word descriptor, rot. The Death Guard
Okay.
hail from Barbaros, with the Primarch Mortarion. The 14th Legion were known for their incredible resilience to damage.
That's a lot of damage.
When the
Okay.
Imperial fists were defensive thanks to tactics and posturing, the Death Guard were resilient because they could take a punch or a gut shot or a cannon to the chest and just keep on moving. They are slow, yet they are resistant, which was only confounded as a Death Guard captain, Typhus, codename Dickhead, sold them out to Nurgle, god of rot and decay.
Oh,
Now, the
okay.
Death Guard are a Nurgle-worshipping infected legion whose
That
ability
sucks.
to feel pain and take damage has all but just gone away. They wade through gunfire, able to kill normal Marines 10 times over and continue unharmed, all while spreading
Wow.
rot and disease in the name of their dark, very stinky
These guys sound like one of the more like unstoppable like Space Marine legions you could come across. Like I know they're all like very strong in their own way, but these guys, because they're essentially just like undeath, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty fucking
all while
scary.
spreading rot and disease.
I guess in
the
a sense,
name
all
of their
heretic
dark,
Marines are in a way,
very
but
stinky
these guys
master.
especially.
Where the Death Guard enter, plague spreads. People get sick and they die. They spread debilitating disease to all around them. Why would a legion need to be anything more than very tanky when their enemies are falling over, puking,
Literally.
firing out of both ends, and having their skin peel off just by their presence? Entire
Yeah.
worlds infested with a zombie rot, swarms of insects that eat flesh and metal alike, all while the Legion advances slowly, painfully, allowing the
Jesus.
disease they spread to take its toll before they reap the lives they believe belong to them. And look at Mortarion's model, dude. The man is baller as
Wow.
fuck. A gigantic moth with a gigantic scythe. Come on now. The Death Guard.
It looks pretty sweet. I need more paper. Hold on. Grab some more from over here.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
The Thousand
Sons.
Sons. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Magnus the Red. A scholar, a sorcerer, a fucking nerd. Single word descriptor, magic. The Thousand Sons hail from their homeworld of Prospero, with their Primarch
Prospero.
Magnus the Red. The final of our 4 major Chaos God factions, the Thousand Sons are disciples of Zeech, the Changer
Okay.
of Ways. Heavily inspired by their Egyptian theming, the Legion themselves are slaves to the god of trickery and change. Most of them
Right.
no longer even having a physical form, reduced to
Oh.
just dust, piloting suits of armor at the whim of a sorcerer leader. The Thousand
Really?
Sons do not deserve their fate. There's a common joke that Magnus did nothing wrong. this is untrue. He has done much wrong. However, he is very sympathetic, mainly because the Space Wolves and Leman Russ sought to end their rivalry through the annihilation of their legion, escaping only through the assistance of the Changer of Ways, and forever changed because of it. Meanwhile, magic is their main tool. Take some Lovecraftian style abilities, the eyes everywhere, and potent spells to be cast at their foes, whether these are bolts of psychic lightning, reversing time itself.
So obviously they're like corrupted by a chaos god, which I'm assuming just innately makes them like psychic wielders in a sense, but also in the case that they literally don't exist anymore, and they're more just the case. It's more just the case that they're like an essence that is embodying that suit of armor. So that essence could also be used magically, I'm guessing, as well, right? I don't know if that's correct, but
opening up portals to unreality or changing the very fabric of the universe. The Thousand Suns sorcery knows no bounds, and they are very good at it. If you're a fan of like wizards, your classic style of spellcaster, and you want a ton of them, combined with a tragic backstory and a Primarch who, like Mortarion, looks fucking baller, the Thousand Suns are for you.
You fucking asshole! There's no way, you're a fucking cheater.
Sons of Horus.
You're a cheater. My dad works at Nintendo!
The Sons of Horus, or the Luna Wolves, or the Black Legion. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Horus, a warlord, a treasured friend, or the traitor himself. Single word descriptor, assault. The Sons of Horus are the formal name of Horus's legion, hailing from the world of Chthoniya. The Sons of Horus themselves were assault troops. The strength of their attack was some of the most powerful in the legions. While the White Scars may favor speed for their strikes, the Sons of Horus were known for their overall offensive power. It was even said that if the Sons of Horus met the Imperial Fists, they would be at a stalemate for eternity. However, the Sons of Horus are no longer, because, well... They are now instead the Black Legion, led by Abaddon the Spoiler, who claims to succeed where his father failed. The Black Legion are still an offensive and assault-based force, but they act much like the Ultramarines, but for chaos. You're standing Black and Brass Space Marine, who are known for recruiting in all different kinds of avenues. Anyone can become a member of the Black Legion. Anyone can swear allegiance to the War Master. You gain favored by not just one, but all four gods equally. Their famous line, "Let the galaxy burn."
Well, that sounds perfect.
Is the best way to describe them. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. So long as the Imperium dies, the Black Legion has done its job. They are a legion formed from hatred and spite, with a clear goal in mind. As the Dark Gods are calling, and the Black Legion are sure to answer.
Hello. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Word bearers?
No. It wasn't fucking optional!
The Word Bearers. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Lorgar Aurelian. A preacher. A fanatic. A choir boy. Single word descriptor? Zeal. If the Black Legion answer the call of the Dark Gods, what if instead you decide to call the gods first? Well, then the Word Bearers are for you. The 17th Legion, led by Primarch Lorgar on the planet of Colchis. Originally with worshiping the Emperor of mankind as a god, they found that despite his divinity, he was not worthy of worship because, you know, he raised their equivalent of Jerusalem to the ground. To worship him. Like, could you imagine if God actually showed up and was just like, Jerusalem is stupid. It just destroyed the whole thing. Like, what would that do to your head? But
that would fuck you up.
That want worship and will reward those who do. The Word Bearers are chaos worshippers to a T. All chaos gods. They specialize in demonic rituals, the summoning of demons, and the mutual possession of their own troops. They welcome demons to their bodies to fight as one. They exalt the dark gods themselves for aid, and guess what? They answer. In the world of 40K, Satan doesn't just call you back. He hops in his GT Mustang and he crashes on your couch. In the world of 40K, your rituals will end with genuine results. The Word Bearers know this. They know through sacrifices, through devotion, through dark baptism, the gods will answer and they will be rewarded. So they use it. They bring forth demons. They bring forth possessions. They bring forth the power of the neverborn, the damned, and those that hide in the dark to bear against the Imperium.
That's fucking sweet, though.
Sits there, smiling.
That's cool as fuck.
Always knew the existence
They sound kind of like
they
sound kind of like almost like the vampires and like the fantasy Warhammer series. I have played the Total War Warhammer games before, so I know a little bit about the fantasy races. This guy reminds me a lot of like the vampires, even though obviously, like, you know, there is Space Marines that are literally fucking vampires. This guy looks very much like that.
Smiling. As the truth he always knew, the existence of gods and the importance of faith is a reality. And it is a tool he is using to rend the galaxy.
Dear Sir Stroke.
Salamanders.
Fire.
You guys have told me a lot about the salamanders. A lot of you guys really like the salamanders, and I the way you guys describe them, I can understand why. You know, they seem like, out of like a sea of bad guys, they're the better guys, kind of thing, is my understanding of them. Like, they actually genuinely, when it's acceptable, want to care about human life as well. Like, as long as it's not, well, even that's not true. I've heard that they've gone out of their way sometimes. Like, they have not only focused on their mission to prevent like casualties, which is something that I don't think any other like Space Marine faction would do.
Exclamation mark. Fire! Exclamation mark. Help me!
The Salamanders. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch,
right.
Vulcan, a Forge Master, a Behemoth, a very huggy boy. Single
right.
descriptor, fire. The Salamanders hail from Nocturne, a volcanic
right.
planet home
Has
to
told
their
me that.
Primarch Vulcan. They are the largest of the Space Marines, not due to numbers, but rather size. Vulcan, he is an enormous slab of beef, by far the largest
Holy
of
shit.
all the Primarchs. However, don't let his size fool you, as he is also the kindest. Salamanders have the juxtaposition of looking frightening, being larger than other Marines, while also boasting an ashy, like coal color skin and blazing red eyes, while simultaneously carrying around all manner of flame weaponry. So your average civilian might be spooked, but in reality, they are by far the kindest of all the legions to those civilians. Vulcan believes that to safeguard the Imperium is to, at the end of the day, safeguard its people. So unlike other legions who put their lives far and above the average human, the Salamanders spend significantly
we saw a bit of that in
more
Hell's
time
Reach
trying
too.
to save them,
like them
often
scoffing
taking
at like
numerous
human
losses
support.
by doing so. They are very independent as well. They're forgers and blacksmiths, maintaining their own weapons and crafting versions of it. They also have the very rare privilege of being able to see their families even after becoming a Space Marine. They care, which is the funny part, because the 7.5 foot tall giant with flaming red eyes who just reduced a trader to bubbling metal says, "You have nothing to fear, young citizen. Take my hand." If you enjoy fire, melting things, and being the nicer of the Marines, Salamanders are for you.
Right. Raven Guard.
Saga, sneak attacks don't work if you yell it out loud.
The Raven Guard. Allegiance, Loyalist.
Loyalists.
Corvus Corax, a raven, a shadow, an industrial dance DJ. Single stealth. The Raven Guard are the final Loyalist Legion at 19 and hail from the planet Deliverance with Primarch Corvus Corax. If it hasn't been made clear enough already, the Raven Guard are stealth specialists and proficient in all manners of assassination. Despite this, their signature winged jump pack and double lightning claw look is...
So it's kind of weird that they have like, that's a cool picture too, by the way. I love that. It's kind of weird that they have like a Space Marine faction dedicated to purely assassination, considering that they have like the Assassinatorium already. So what's different about these guys? Like, why would you want like a heavy metal assassin like this? Because it seems like the Assassinatorium already really has like all your bases covered when it comes to getting somebody killed. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody specific. So I'm interested to see what these guys, like what their piece is exactly.
Assassination. Despite this, their signature winged jump pack and double lightning claw look is, well, Not very stealthy.
No.
They are named after, of course, the Raven and embody the entire concept of it as a herald of death. They are stealthy, patient hunters that have no problem with waiting and waiting and waiting until the moment to strike is at hand. It's not easy being a stealth faction when your stealth involves people in one ton of armor.
That's what I'm
find a way. That more
wondering.
than anything, it should not be used to show how ridiculous 40k is. Even though it is, but rather show how good the Raven Guard are at their jobs. It's not about them sneaking around you without being seen, but it's also about them having lied in wait for so long that it wasn't until they were in striking distance that you even realized they had been there. And also, if you want, edgelord Marines with a long black haircut, pale skin, ravens everywhere. If you want to field assassins and snipers abound, then the Raven Guard are for you.
They look sweet. Oh, Meet the Spy. Awesome. I love Meet the Spy.
The Alpha Legion.
He's the Red Spy.
Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Nefarious, and Omegon. Saboteurs, Destabilizers, they're in your walls. Single word descriptor, espionage. Finally, the 20th Legion, the Alpha Legion, led by Alfarius and Omegon. The Alpha Legion,
their armor looks cool.
Primarchs who were split as twins. The Alpha
looks
Legion
like textured.
Are heretical, we think, and specialize in destabilization of society and armies. Their entire shtick is the Hydra, because when you cut off one head, two more take its place. All of the Alpha Legion look exactly like their Primarch. Olive skin, shaved head. All claim to be Alfarius. All are liars. They make the largest use of sleeper cells and cultists in the Chaos Space Marine factions because it's extremely easy to take over a planet when you
poison our water supply, burn our crops, and deliver the plague unto our houses.
Where the Raven Guard use stealth and sabotage to eliminate their enemies, the Alpha Legion prefer to weaken them over time with sleeper agents, impersonations, basically anything you can imagine from a hardcore spy movie or Cold War level espionage. Being Alfarius is not only an honor, being Alfarius is a requirement. There's a story of someone chasing down an Alpha Legion agent for years upon years, and when they finally catch up with them and they see that the agent is wearing the same face as their pursuer, because this was the plan all along, to kill him and take his spot. We're talking facial reconstruction surgery, we're talking hacking, we're talking political assassination and impersonation, everything. They are Space Marines in name only, because being a strong stoic warrior is not what the Alpha Legion is interested in. In fact, the Alpha Legion is interested in you not even knowing that the Alpha Legion is a thing. I am Alfarius. You are Alfarius. We are all Alfarius in his Lord's glorious army. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a little something. I hope if you were on the fence about what Space Marines you wanted to field, you would now have a better idea of what you want to play. Buy my Gamer Sub Shaker. It's on sale.
Use his code.
It's on pre-order. It's ready to go. Just get it. Just get it. Use code Bricky. It's in the description. Just get it. And a huge thank you to all of my patrons over on patreon.com/Bricky and the members on the YouTube channel. Your names are here. I thank you a ton. You are all very generous. And I need to answer a question. Have you ever attempted to touch grass but end up touching the Destiny 2 loading screen? Oh, damn it. I just... Yeah. So
come on. Obviously you're a skater.
Awesome. Well, yeah, that was every single Warhammer Space Marine Legion in a nutshell by Bricky. And again, guys, awesome recommendation. That was very, very informative. I got I probably missed a lot, but I got like quite a few pages worth of writing down here, so it was a very informative video. He definitely went into detail about each one of them there. Give you at least like a little starter. Give you an idea of what you're looking at least a little bit. Especially with their color schemes and shit. I really liked being able to actually like see what each one kind of like looked like and represented in their own sense, you know? And especially like the doctrine of each one being like so vastly different from the other. I thought that was extremely interesting. And again, like a lot of the, like some doctrines, like you wouldn't think that a Space Marine would have a doctrine like that. Like what, you you wouldn't think that they'd be like interested in espionage and like anything like that, but it's a very cool concept that they like still are to a degree, you know. But yeah, guys, no, I thought that was a great video, and thank you so much for the recommendations again. I really can't thank you enough for it. If you guys want me to react to more of Bricky, let me know what to react to next, or any video in general. Let me know in the comments, and I'll go give it a look. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate the support on this channel. It's been absolutely incredible the last few days. I'm slurring my words here, but you guys are doing awesome, and I appreciate the support so much. So thank you for that. But yeah, guys, without any further delay, this has been Centurion, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.